Welcome to KBW, and this is your Worlds Collide review. So last night was the Battle Royal for the men and for the women. There were 17 women and 19 men, if I want to say correctly, from NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live competing in each. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm recording this in my car, people. So for the first one, you had the women come out about 10 minutes after they did everyone's introductions. The first one eliminated was, I think, Lacey Lane, if I remember correctly. That was by Marina Shirai. She was her and who was it? Oh, Jezame. Thank you. Sorry, Jezame. I have my notes here, looking through them. Again, I was running through everything, trying to do it on. I don't have the computer like I usually do. So her and Jezame were basically teaming up as always, and trying to knock out a lot of competition. Rena Gonzalez, sorry if I'm saying that name incorrectly, she was just knocking these girls down, just taking them out, taking names, throwing them away. So was Piper Naveen, just basically throwing these girls to the side like they were nothing. It came down to, the final four was Renee Gonzalez. I don't remember if Piper Naveen was the final four. Bianca Belair. There was Io Shirai, Toni Storm, Bianca Belair, and Renee Gonzalez. Yeah. But some good points, some highlights before I get to the final four. You had Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. I don't know if my notes were correct there. I may have written that wrong. Bourne, I think it was. Yeah, Bourne, sorry. But they worked as a great team, and they were able to knock out Piper Naveen, but not before she got some licks in on them. Took them down with a body attack, a jump off the rope, sorry. Then they ended up throwing her out, but they got thrown out because they were being way too cocky, and they leaned over at their work of throwing her out, and Io Shirai and Toni Storm ended up flipping them both over. Then you had Marina the MMA fighter, one of the four, the women horsemen. She knocked out Jezame by accident, trying to knock out, I can't remember who it was, but she ended up punching out Jezame. Jezame says, hey, go for it, win it, and then she gets knocked out by Bianca Belair, so she is eliminated. Then comes down to it, basically you have the four women. So Io Shirai goes after Rena Gonzalez, and with some acrobatic moves of almost being thrown a couple times, she ends up throwing her over the top rope while she was outside, flipped her over. It was very, very well calculated. It was nice. It was beautiful, again, fight. And then who was it? Oh, then that's right. So then you're down to Toni Storm, Io Shirai, and Bianca Belair. They basically go Toni Storm versus Bianca Belair, and that was a pretty good back and forth for a little bit. Toni Storm tries to go for the Storm Zero. Bianca Belair counters, ends up chucking her out, and then you have Bianca and Io going at it, and it was pretty athletic. Io Shirai was definitely almost had her thrown out a couple times, had her over top ropes. They both held on, both fought on the side. Then on the other side of the outside of the ring, they kept fighting and fighting, and eventually Bianca Belair knocked out Io Shirai for the win. So there was congratulations to Bianca Belair for that after losing to Toni Storm last week on Worlds Collide, and Nikki Cross ends up coming out with a W in the Women's Battle Royal. Not sure what comes of this. I didn't hear them say anything, but I may have missed it. So I'm not sure if there's something to say to this, like they win this, that means she gets a shot at the title. I don't know. But Bianca Belair was fierce this entire Battle Royal. She was on a mission, and she ended up winning. So NXT and EST take the W here. So then we jump into the men's Battle Royal, and the quick final four. Just jump into that. It was Strong, Riddle, Gajar, I know I'm saying that wrong, and then Tyler Bates. So 3 NXT and 1 NXT UK being Tyler Bates. So that was that Final Four. But as we got into it, the first eliminated was I think it was Riker, if I remember correctly. Mustafa had a good amount of eliminations there. Or Mustaf. Listen, I can't remember all these guys' names. But he had a good amount. But obviously the big one was Gajar. Again, sorry, not trying to be disrespectful to him. I just can't say his name. Huge guy. Him and Rinku, if I'm saying that right, were going and knocking a lot of guys out together. And there was a couple guys you thought may have lasted in there but didn't. Bates, which I don't get to see UK as much, but I do see here and there. I love his keeps himself in the ring by bouncing off the ropes through his shoulders and coming back around for some moves. Not sure if he does it on a daily, if it was just for this, but he actually did a move like that, or trying to attempt a move when he bounced off the ropes like that. So again, I'm not sure if that's just what he does, but it looks really good, and it was very well executed by him, and he saved himself from being thrown out of the ring by being able to do that. Then you had Gajar, who turned on Rinku early in the match. It's not like they were the last two left. He turned on him at I want to say maybe 6 guys left, roughly like that, 6, 7 guys left. For no reason, he didn't go out over the top, so they let him come back in, and Gajar just, as soon as he came back in, just went and threw him right out on the other side, and he looked at him like, what are you doing? So I was kind of confused with that, because those two would work as a team and then just take him out afterwards. At least wait till you get down to the final 2 or something. Final 3 at least, but to do it so early, I think that's what ended up costing him here. Because then when it comes down to the Final 4, with Strong, Riddle, Bates, and then Gajar, all 3 men go to attack Gajar to no success. He pushes them all away, knocks them all out. Riddle comes back at him. He drops him to the ground. Then he goes to knock him out. Riddle saves himself from falling out of the ring, and then he just boots him right out. Riddle, first one eliminated in the Final 4. Then you had Strong and Bates trying to get Gajar out, and that was a tough one. But shockingly, I'm shocked at this. I'm not going to jump to the final, but Bates lifts up Gajar after some back and forth. With them, Bates lifts up Gajar on his shoulders and just muscles him up and throws him out of the ring. It was insane to see this little dude just being able to put him up there. I mean, he seems little compared to some other guys. Obviously, to Gajar, everyone seems little, but the amount of strength he had was just insane, and just chucks him right out the ring. Bye-bye, gone. So now you're down to your 2. You have Bates from NXT UK and Strong, who obviously Undisputed Era and NXT, go at it. And this by far was fantastic. This was a back and forth fighting to the finish. Both guys, I mean, you had what was it? Oh, you had Strong, who threw out Bates on one side. Bates grabbed himself on top of the rope, is able to pull himself back in. He then, because Strong wasn't really pitted, just turns around like, oh, I got him thrown out. Then he rolls back into the ring, and he throws him out of the other side of the ring, and does the same thing. And he throws him out of the third side of the ring that he hadn't thrown him out yet, but he was paying attention, but didn't go after him still. He rolls back in, and then Bates turns around and throws Strong out the outside, but Strong saves himself. So there was back and forth saving. You had the crowd chanting, "This is awesome." It was a real back and forth. It's probably a good 5, maybe 10-minute match. Probably about 5, 6 minutes. I may exaggerate on 10, but it was pretty long of those who just fighting back and forth. And it was great to see. It was great seeing these two guys fight. Again, the talent that you don't get to see fight as much. So it was kind of fun to watch those guys go back and forth. And I thought Bates had him, and then he goes for a springboard from the outside, and Strong just knocks him as he was jumping back in, just knocks him on his way back out, stays out of the ring, and he was out, and Strong is your winner. So after the Undisputed Era had some issues on NXT, as Mr. White Pepper over there has talked about, and different things, they've done Disputed Era, finally got a W here with Strong coming out on top. All by himself, being able to do it. There was no antics or anything. He was able to fully win this all on his own. So, congratulations to Strong there. Again, Bianca Belair. I'm not sure what these two get at the end of the day. I'm not sure if this is the end of this section of Worlds Collide, if they're doing some more. I haven't seen anything on that. I honestly am not too positive on what that is. But it was a great match on both ends of it. I enjoyed the women's battle royal more. It was more entertaining from the whole middle part, whereas the men's didn't get really entertaining until the end. I said you had in the Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, you had the Io Shirai chant, and then EST. It was a back and forth chant as you had last week when it was Toni Storm and Bianca Belair. You had a lot of the WWE fan universe going, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Toni Storm got thrown out," and it was between her and Io Shirai. But again, it was a great match between those two, even though it wasn't as long as the men's with Bates and Strong. Still very good. Both were fun to watch, to even check out. If you don't want to watch the intros, like I said, 10 minutes about intros and then jump into it. Like I said, the women's I thought was way more entertaining, as it really mainly is these days. What we do here on KBW, I'd like to bid everybody adieu, goodbye, mwah, and good night, bang.